Trump should apologize to all of the American Muslims who have served honorably our nation's armed forces. He should visit Arlington Cemetery and pay respect to the fallen soldiers, among them American Muslims who have paid the highest price.
During tomorrow's Trump rally, local members of the Council on American-Islamic Relations will be joining people of all faiths outside the rally.
Only there to pass out some donuts, meet the people, and let them know that we are American just like they are, and that there shouldn't be any animosity or hatred between the two groups.
Members of the Kansas chapter of the Council on American-Islamic Relations are now calling on Donald Trump to stop condoning the violence.
We want him to stop declaring that he will pay the legal fees for anyone that's getting in legal trouble because of this violence.
CAIR attorney Wilfredo Ruiz.
We feel betrayed by a governor that we were expecting from him nothing else, nothing but standing up for equality.
What should Scott have done?
Stand for the over 500,000 Muslims that live in Florida, saying no, there are Muslims today protecting me, protecting our citizens, serving our nation.
That DeBello drove by, shouted, "You Muslim, all of you should die."
The St. Louis chapter of the Council on American-Islamic Relations released this message regarding the situation. Quote, "We welcome the hate crime charge brought in this case and hope the prosecutor's actions send the message that alleged acts of violence and intimidation prompted by anti-Muslim bigotry will not be tolerated."
So the offensive license plate will soon be no more. And the public safety officials tell me they are reviewing their process for approving personalized plates. And the Minnesota chapter of the Council on American-Islamic Relations issued a similar statement saying they were extremely concerned that this type of expression is not only existing, but we also missed looking at it.
Now circulating all over Facebook, crossing state lines, and now the D.C.-based Council on American-Islamic Relations is weighing in, saying this may be cause for concern. Some say it incites violence against Muslims. An image of a mushroom cloud with the caption, "Japan has been at peace with the U.S. since September 2nd, 1945. It's time we made peace with Islam."
That what makes America great?
Hundreds of Missouri Muslims rallied today at the Capitol in support of Syrian refugees and against Islamophobia.
Within this country are now saying things such as we want to ban Muslims from this country, we want Muslims to wear special ID. You know, this hurts our community, and actually it hurts all religious communities within this state country as well, because this is a nation built on religious freedom.
Attention statewide. It concerns two young Muslim girls who were pelted with eggs near Lafayette High School. The Council on American-Islamic Relations, better known as CAIR, is now urging the young women to come forward and file a police report.
Mosque in Minneapolis is vandalized again. This latest case happened Wednesday night, and it's the second time at the same mosque in a month. The vandal was caught on surveillance camera. You can see the person breaking in. The Minnesota chapter of the Council on American-Islamic Relations says equipment and files were stolen. Now they worry about what's next.
We don't know what the bias, what the actual motives are for this, but knowing that there's a great deal of anti-Muslim hysteria currently in a lot of mosques across the United States have been vandalized, we are concerned that this could potentially be a hate crime.
The Council on American-Islamic Relations and the Oklahoma chapter of the ACLU have filed a suit against a gun range in northeast Oklahoma which has declared itself Muslim-free.
Council on American-Islamic Relations says Christie previously worked well with the Muslim community, and his support of Trump is casting a shadow on that.
But if he loses, then he's got to answer to the Muslims and the community that supported him, right, and got to respond to that. Now, how is he going to do that? That's another issue.
The Council on American-Islamic Relations has announced it's closely monitoring the investigation into the deaths of 3 young men in a house on Lewis Street last week. The Washington-based Muslim civil rights and advocacy group says it has reached out to investigators in the case, to local Muslim community leaders, and the victims' families. 2 of the victims were reportedly Muslim, the other a Christian. Fort Wayne's public safety director says police don't believe the killings were a hate crime.
The debate's heating up over Salt Lake City police not releasing the video of that officer-involved shooting, or at least not yet. The Council on American-Islamic Relations today called on police to let the public see the footage in the name of transparency and accountability. This comes as Utah lawmakers debate how the best way to regulate police body cameras.
Representatives from the Birmingham Islamic Society, the Council on American-Islamic Relations, and the Southern Poverty Law Center talked about the polarizing political climate and how to tackle Islamophobia.
They tell people that there are Muslims in their community that they need to respond to, and that they're their neighbors. The second thing it does is it makes, it brings people together.